Don't! I'm DJ Pompey from No Coast. Welcome to hashtag Ask Pompey. I've done various thought blogs about aspects of like rap shows and promotion and whatever. I'm going to start just rolling these into a question and answer format. So we'll get more of these if I get more questions. I've got a few lined up already. The first one is something that a user called NewTubeDSLR, that's the type of camera, posted to the Battle Rap subreddit, and then later asked me in a private message. They are looking to start a Battle Rap league, I believe Nashville, Tennessee. They ask, what do you know now that you wish you would have known when you hosted your first few battles? So they're just looking for advice. I don't think I even could begin to make a how to start a battle league comprehensive guide. I think, maybe this will get a conversation going. Maybe we could hear from Kelly Betts, the founder of No Coast. People like Logic, who runs iBattle. People like, your Sonny Bamboos of the world. All sorts of things, because there's just so much. But rather than delay answering you any longer, I'm just gonna brain dump the most obvious things that come to mind, and maybe that'll get you started. Let me first go over what Sonny Bamboo, who was the president of Grind Time Midwest back in the day and now organizes the Don't Flop USA tours. When I posed this exact question, he said, don't start a rap battle league. And the reason he's saying that is that if you look on Verse Tracker, for example, in the United States, it counts a little more than 300 rap battle leagues. That's probably not actually the case. Not all of them are like active, distinct leagues on YouTube right now. Still, that's a lot. By any count, there's over 100 probably active rap battle leagues in the United States. Why would you want to start one? Well, this guy said he was in Nashville. Maybe there's not a scene where he is. It might look to the internet like he's not contributing anything that isn't already being done. But to the local scene, hey, maybe every city should have an a cappella battle rap scene available to them. Like, it's my favorite type of live entertainment. I don't think any area should really be deprived of it if there's enough interest in seeing it and if there's people willing to compete. So that local relevance is the first stop. Maybe you're going to make a dent there. That's what you want to do, make some kind of impact. But that's the hint that the internet presence is going to be an uphill battle for you. You're competing with a lot of established things, and people are getting more free entertainment now available than they really would have time to consume. That's the space you're entering. So what can you draw from that? Well, don't expect the internet to care right away, but also maybe you can find another league. There's at least one other battle rap league in Tennessee, I know that. And, maybe you end up being a division of them and operate within their network. And so then you have access to post your footage on this channel that already has a built-in following. And, you can be part of that. It is probably better to enter the scene as a division. Maybe throw your own event and pitch it to them like, hey, if see how this footage comes out, maybe you'd like me to start a division after you see it. It's going to be a lot easier for you to establish relevance if you've got that subscriber base you're already building on. But anyway, we'll assume you've ignored Sonny's advice of just don't do it, and you're actually going to do it. So here's all of my advice that came to mind. 1, don't use microphones. When we say battle rap, we're talking about modern battle rap, which is what you see on YouTube, your King of the Dot, your Grind Time. This is an a cappella written format. All right, make sure everyone knows that. This is done and filmed very differently than the way you'd film like freestyle battles over beats on stage, like your Scribble Jam and stuff like that. So while a lot of people might think that, okay, well, just like any other show, the people battling each other will go on the stage, and we will just give them normal handheld microphones, and they will address the crowd like a stand-up comedian would or anyone else. Well, that will produce terrible footage. So what you want to do is change the layout of the room, and it depends how many people you have at your event. When you see this kind of battle rap actually done on a stage, like URL does, like bigger Don't Flop events do. They're on the stage not with handheld mics, but with lavaliers, and that's because they have several hundred to upwards of 1,000 people in the room, maybe. You probably don't have that. You're probably dealing with like 50 to 150 people, something like that. And depending on the layout of the room, that's where you want to do what's called a pit format. So I'm just going to show a clip.
Rapper on our left, introduce yourself. DJ Pompey from No Coast, Como to Chi-Town, Windy is the city.
Windy is the city.
And now I'm in St. Louis.
Yeah. Oh, give it up for Pompey! On our right.
Probably from like the Sorcerer's Mood Swings or something. But depending on the layout of the room, we usually actually have the battlers in front of the stage, and the whole crowd sort of semicircled around them. So you get everyone like that. You shoot it from the stage outward, and you get the battlers, host behind them, crowd behind them, and it works. No mics with a normal amount of people whatsoever. If you have enough people that you need to go on the stage and use mics, you want to use lavaliers and you want to sound check them very well. So that's when filming becomes a little more challenging. But you're not to that level of success where you would need that at all. Keep it simple, no mics. 2, always have a backup angle. So the main angle is the one camera you probably have right now. The backup angle serves 2 functions. One, like in professional television, that's where you can be cutting away to a second angle to show a different part of the scene. You could do that in all sorts of artistic ways. But the most important reason you want to have a backup camera is because you will at some point stop filming from your main camera. You will have some sort of glitch, and that will happen in the middle of someone's round. So when that happens, you maybe don't have 2 cameras that are your nicest. So you've got a backup camera, maybe it's a little crappier, but it's there, and you can patch in that part of the round, nothing's dropped, and go back to your good quality camera as soon as the footage comes back. Make sure you got that backup angle. Get the crowd in the shot. Number 3. That's pretty basic, man. Like, it's a big part of how battle rap is understood now. Is you can hear the crowd and you can see the crowd. It's completely different without that. You don't want to just have the 2 battlers be all you see because the crowd was behind the camera person for some reason. Alright, so if the crowd is in the room at all, you're going to need to control noise. So number 4, control noise. Establishing and enforcing what the types of noise you want to hear are, which are primarily the 2 battlers, or it's people reacting to what the battlers just said. Those are great things, as long as they're not, we're not talking about booing or whatever. Don't do that, unless it's justified. So the reactions are what you really want. What you don't really want is loud conversations, sort of either drowning out your battlers or just distracting from it. And 2 factors come into consideration there. All right, so you can blame the crowd, but you can set yourself up to success. So you don't have to blame the crowd. So to set yourself up for success, you're going to want to think of what the room layout is. If your venue has the bar very close to where you're filming the battles, you want to change something about that situation. Because people talk near the bar no matter what you do. Figure out what people are going to talk and direct the people who want to talk and have conversations there, and that is away from where you're filming the battles, all right? So give people somewhere else they can be in chat. Make sure they know to go there if that's what they want to do. And overall, just condition the crowd. You make a little speech before the first battle, maybe before every battle or every other one, and just explain, we're stepping outside of a concert right now. We're stepping into a filming session, and this is all going online, so please gather around, pay attention to the MCs, respect the MCs, react to them, all that, but if you want to talk, go over there and just be very polite. What you see a lot in these events when someone is talking, even at low levels, is someone will turn around and go, "Shut the fuck up!" And disrupt things even more. And what's more, people in a bar, if you come at them with "shut the fuck up" energy, you're tending to just raise the level of tension and the level of disruption that's going on. After that, you're putting people on edge, and maybe someone who doesn't want to shut the fuck up is going to, come back at you now. It's not it's not what you want to do. So instead of shut the fuck up, I like hold it down. I like respect the MCs, respect the mic. You can like should be using a mic, all whatever. But you know, try to be more gentle about that and not make the situation worse than it already is. All right, this is one of the biggest factors of having highly watchable footage. One of the other biggest factors is control the lighting. All right, so maybe you have a semi-professional looking light kit. You know, you can actually get them for like $80 nowadays on Amazon. So you should look into that. But if you don't, then you know maybe turn the house lights up halfway. Whatever, figure out. And this is, you know, kind of between you and your camera crew. I say that like it's more than one person. And the venue, as far as what you can do, but they probably have some house lights, and you know, you see a lot of footage that could have been a lot better if there had just been a little more light. Don't go bananas with it. We have some battles that are, I feel like the lights were on a little too high, and just, you know, you were like, why are the lights on? But generally, just dark nightclub by default is not what you want it to look like. Pacing the event. All right, so keep it moving. You know, you don't want to waste a lot of people's time. The more dead time you have in a battle rap event, the more crowds are waiting, the more they get unruly, the more they're not behaving so well. And all in all, you know, they're not having that much good a time at your event. It's a very unconventional event. If there's not already an active battle rap league in your city, you want them to have a really good time and feel like, man, this was just bangers wall to wall. So you want, you know, I usually like to have a few other performances besides the battles, but don't have that many other performances. Don't throw everyone you know who raps to get a set just because you think you have that amount of time. I mean, I've seen battle events where you got like 5 battles on the card and like 8 live performances. Don't do that. Have like, you know, a couple performances, big block of battles, you know, some more performances to close it out, done. Or, you know, maybe one, if you got a bunch of battles, a little performance break in the middle, but minimize the amount of dead time and minimize the number of times you're going to have to switch from being on the floor filming a battle to being on stage with a set. You know, so don't do one and one and one and one and one and one. You know, that's going to be a lot of changing vibes for the crowd. I hope that made sense. This one's super important. Allow tons of breathing room in your schedule. All right, so you're going to tell the audience to arrive at a particular time, and you're going to tell the performers to arrive at a particular time. That's not what's going to happen. All right, that was a convenient fiction you created and told yourself. They're going to arrive an hour after that, or whenever they're going to show up. You got to just be ready for that. So tons of breathing room, because there's a much greater issue if you run out of time and, you know, can't finish an act than it would be at a normal show. These are battles. They've been prepared. Like, people have worked for, you know, weeks at exactly what they're going to do. It's not the same as asking a band, oh, sorry, you know, you're going to have to run halftime. You know, you only get 2 songs, whatever. And you can't even necessarily just say, oh, hey, you showed up really late, so you can't battle, and that's it. I mean, you can, but you're also punishing their opponent who might have showed up on time. So this, as organizer, is all going to fall on you, and you just need to make it as clear as possible when everyone should come, and then assume they're going to come an hour after that, and then be ready for when it's worse than that. Release consistently. This is an issue a lot of small leagues have. By releasing consistently, I mean when the footage is actually put on to YouTube. And, you know, everyone involved is probably volunteering. Like, the cameraman might be volunteering or taking very little. Whoever edits the footage, they're probably not getting paid for their time. You probably can't afford, as a battle league, a professional video editor. Man, just find someone who has a vested interest, like yourself, in this all happening and getting done. You know, don't rely from favors from people you haven't really worked with a bunch. Just get your own staff to get good enough at editing, because it's not very complicated. I know everyone's volunteering their time, you know, and time is limited, but you don't want to be in a situation where you get all this footage and then it just comes out whenever. I've been in situations where I've paid my own travel to go to events and the footage comes out 9 months later, or 13 months later. That's after being told, like, oh yeah, it's going to come out real soon. And then it gets lost or whatever. You know, don't do that. Keep track of all the footage, make your backups, publish a release schedule shortly after the event happens, and then stick to it. Have the footage ready to release to YouTube a little bit before you say you're going to release it. You know, like, if you can get all the footage out within a month of the event actually happening, that's the ideal to strive for. It makes a huge difference to people who have put this work in to know that their footage is going to be released in a timely fashion. Okay, so this next one is a little bit different from the others. Be neutral. People are always on the lookout for perceived favoritism, right? Because they perceive that you're you know, doing something important. You're giving people opportunities to battle on YouTube, and maybe you're giving them opportunities to face certain travelers. They're always looking for situations where you might not be treating people equitably. It's same token as someone might say, hey, why did you give him the headlining set? You know, why is his name above mine in the flyer? There's lots of that kind of thinking going on in battle rap. The best thing you can do is just appear as impartial as you possibly can. Don't predict the outcome of a match that you booked. Try not to say absolutely who you thought won. Let other people express opinions. You know, like, just sort of be a little bit reserved like that. I've even had situations where, like, I co-hosted some battles in No Coast North, but I'm in No Coast Chicago. It wasn't even my division. Like, I was there running the pay-per-view, and I co-hosted some of the battles. And someone afterwards said, "Hey, how come you co-hosted his battle and you didn't co-host mine?" Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Sorry, you know, like, I wasn't hosting the event even, you know, in an affiliate division. But, you know, I wasn't going out of my way to be as neutral as I can. As an organizer, that's something you're going to have to be looking at. All right, so, and finally, and again, if you're an event promoter, this is just good business anyway, don't put up more for an event than you're prepared to lose. All right, so, as I say, it can be really expensive even to just get people traveling out to see you, but that's what gives your league the relevance, and you're not just some people filming, you know, each other in your hometown. That relevance can be expensive even in travel costs before you even think about paying people. There's a temptation to, you know, put up money to make something really big happen. Don't put up anything you're not prepared to lose. And know how you think you're going to offset it, or maybe even get it back, or heaven forbid, make a profit. You know how you're going to do that, but, like, start small and establish those revenue sources before you go too far out on a limb, because it's really easy to just go broke on your first event, your first big one, and just not be able to continue after that, or you're just so burnt out at that point. So, yeah, be very careful what risk you're putting into it, man. Like, you look out for number one a little bit. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, and subscribe to No Coast Raps. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's a very kind of limited audience, but any help I can give these people, you know, they're looking to sacrifice a lot of their time, you know, trying to make something happen. Some of the next Ask Pompey episodes I'm thinking about are, how is battle rap funded? And can rap battles have a message? These questions don't all have to be about battle rap. This is just what I'm getting asked about lately. Go ahead and ask me a question, and I will try to use whatever my experience is as a DJ, organizer, producer, rapper, whatever, programmer, to ask me about. And if I don't know, maybe I'll know someone who does. Cheers, guys.
Burning it.
You are at home by yourself.